Why do we get goosebumps? The evolutionary mystery. Hello everyone. Ever felt a sudden chill and noticed tiny bumps forming on your skin? Or maybe you've been listening to an incredible song and suddenly, bam, goosebumps. It's something we all experience, but have you ever stopped to wonder, why? Why does our skin do this? What's the point? And do goosebumps actually help us in any way today? Get ready, because we're diving deep into the science, history, and psychology of goosebumps. And trust me, you'll never see this simple body reaction the same way again. 1. What exactly are goosebumps? Before we talk about why we get them, let's break down what goosebumps actually are. The technical term for this reaction is piloerection, which literally means hair raising. Here's what happens. When your body detects a strong stimulus like cold, fear, or excitement, your autonomic nervous system sends a signal to tiny muscles called erector pili, located at the base of each hair follicle. These muscles contract, pulling the hair upright, which makes your skin form tiny bumps, goosebumps. This happens automatically, without you having to think about it, just like your heartbeat or breathing. It's an ancient reflex, but in today's world, it's kind of useless. So why do we still have it? 2. Goosebumps were once a survival mechanism. To answer that, let's go back millions of years, to a time when early humans and our primate ancestors were covered in a lot more body hair. Imagine you're an early human, wandering through a freezing landscape. The temperature drops and your body reacts. Your hair stands on end, trapping a layer of warm air close to your skin, like a built-in natural insulation system. This is the same way animals like dogs, cats, and even birds fluff up their fur or feathers to stay warm. It was an essential survival mechanism. But as humans evolved and developed clothing, heating, and modern shelters, we lost most of our body hair. The goosebumps reflex stayed, but without its original purpose. 3. Fear, adrenaline, and goosebumps. Cold isn't the only thing that triggers goosebumps. Fear and intense emotions can do it too. Ever been in a terrifying situation, maybe watching a horror movie or walking alone in the dark, and suddenly felt goosebumps crawl up your arms? That's because when you're scared, your body releases adrenaline, preparing you for fight or flight. This boosts your heart rate, sharpens your senses, and, yes, triggers goosebumps. For animals, this reaction makes them appear larger and more intimidating to predators, like a cat puffing up its fur when threatened. But for humans? Well, it doesn't really make us look that scary, does it? 4. Music can give you goosebumps too. Okay, this one is really interesting. Have you ever listened to a song so powerful that it gave you chills? This phenomenon is called frisson, a French word meaning aesthetic chills. Scientists believe it happens when music triggers an unexpected emotional response, activating the brain's pleasure and reward system, the same system involved in eating, love, and even certain drugs. Studies show that about 50% of people experience frisson, while others don't. If you do, congratulations, your brain is highly sensitive to emotional stimuli. 5. Temperature changes still trigger goosebumps. Alright, we know goosebumps are a leftover survival trait, but did you know they still get activated by temperature changes, even though they don't really help us anymore? Picture this. You're taking a long, hot shower, and the moment you step out into the cold air, bam, goosebumps. Or maybe you're out on a warm summer evening, and suddenly a cold breeze sweeps by. Instant chills. So what's happening here? Well, your body is reacting the way it used to millions of years ago. When you feel cold, your nervous system kicks into action and tells those tiny erector pili muscles at the base of your hair follicles to contract, raising your hair in an attempt to trap heat. Back in the day, this was super useful. Thicker hair meant better insulation. But today, we don't have enough body hair for this to actually keep us warm. 6. Genetics play a role in how often you get goosebumps. Ever notice that some people get goosebumps way more easily than others? Maybe your friend gets chills every time they hear an epic movie soundtrack, but you barely react. Or maybe you're the one who shivers at the slightest breeze while your friends seem totally fine. Why does this happen? The answer? Genetics and brain chemistry. Scientists have found that people with a highly sensitive autonomic nervous system tend to get goosebumps more often. This means their body reacts more strongly to emotional triggers, cold temperatures, and sudden stimuli. So, if you're someone who gets goosebumps often, It could mean your brain is wired for deeper emotional and sensory experiences. Basically, your nervous system is like an overachiever. It reacts more dramatically than most. 7. Can goosebumps ever be a warning sign? For most of us, goosebumps are totally harmless and just a weird little body quirk. But in rare cases, they can be a symptom of something more serious. Goosebumps are controlled by your nervous system, so if you start getting random, unexplained goosebumps, especially without cold, fear, or excitement, it could mean your nerves are being affected by an underlying issue. Of course, if your goosebumps are just from listening to good music or walking into a cold room, you're totally fine. But if you ever experience sudden, unexplained chills along with dizziness, pain, or numbness, it might be worth checking with a doctor, just to be safe. So, while goosebumps might not serve much of a purpose for us anymore, they are a fascinating reminder of how our bodies evolved. Next time you get chills from a song, a spooky movie, or a cold breeze, just remember, you're experiencing something that dates back millions of years. Which fact surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. And if you love learning about weird science, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more amazing content from Brainwave. Thanks for watching. Stay curious, stay amazed.